What's going on, everyone? Samson here. Welcome back to my YouTube channel, British Over TV. And today I am just going to talk about the breaking news. Unless you've been living under a rock, I'm sure you may have heard. But before I start, don't forget, while you're here and while you're watching this, hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell, give the video a good rating, a like. Now let's get down to business. So, unless you've been living under a rock, I'm sure you've heard the breaking news earlier today. Joachim Low is going to step down as Germany manager after the Euros, which obviously leaves the vacancy door wide open to the German national team, to manage the German national team. The only problem is, the front runner and favourite to take over is Jurgen Klopp. Now, as a Liverpool fan, obviously we don't want Jurgen to go. He still has a project to finish at Liverpool. I feel like this season has put a damper, span him in the works, as some might say, in terms of his project for Liverpool. But he has a project to fulfill at Liverpool that we hope he stays beyond this season at least to fulfill and finish off the project that he started. Come out in the press conference and said, he doesn't want to take the Germany job. He's not leaving Liverpool. He's got 3 years left on his contract, and he plans on honouring that contract. Now, the fickle minds of the fickle fans some of the fickle fans at Liverpool may take his word as gospel and be like, okay, cool, he's staying, great. Not this guy. I've I've seen a lot of Jurgen Klopp interviews over the years, and I know he says one thing in interviews and does something completely different in terms of what he said in interviews in regards to transfers. I mean, we can start off by saying the main one being Virgil van Dijk. I remember him saying, obviously this is when we first went for Van Dijk in the summer, that summer where we literally embarrassed ourselves and we had to apologise. We had to issue a statement and apologise to Southampton. And then Jurgen Klopp in one of his press conferences during that time said we are no longer interested in we are not interested in the player. We're not interested in Van Dijk and we are not gonna pursue him any further. Yeah, cool. Obviously we all had egg on our faces. We were all the fans were upset, angry, blah 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 blah. As we would. Can't it was a circus. 6 months later, what happens? We end up buying Van Dijk. He says one thing, does the other. For the betterment of the team, hey, look, I'm holding my hands up and saying I'm not angry that he bought Van Dijk. So happy we got him. But he said one thing, done another. Same thing with the Karius situation the summer after, where Karius made that huge mistake in the Champions League final, costed us, and was adamant that we are not in the transfer for a new keeper. Obviously, there was rumours we were linked with Alisson. Klopp stood firm, denied it. What happens? You guessed it. We bought Alisson, the best keeper in the world. Forget about the last 6 weeks, but he's the best keeper in the world. So that lets you know, does one thing, says another. Obviously, with transfers, you've got obviously with transfers is different. I think the same thing happened with Mo Salah as well. When we were rumoured to be linked with Mo Salah, he said no, we don't. I think Salah wasn't even one of the Salah that he wanted, but he was like, is adamant. He said no, we're not getting Salah, and then we end up getting him. But obviously with transfers, you've got to play your cards close to your chest because you don't want to alert, I guess, your rivals. Because I think, I don't know, I don't know, to be honest, with stuff like that. But the only example I'm going off of what Klopp said in his interview in regards to Germany, him taking the German job or not taking the German job, should I say, is I'm just using an example of what he said about with the transfers that he said would not happen but did happen. So look, Klopp's German. His family are from Germany. He wasn't allowed to go to his mother's funeral, which I can only assume just pissed him the fuck off. I can only assume, excuse my language, I can only assume it pissed him the fuck off. And not being able to leave this country to go to your native country to say goodbye to your parent that died can only leave some sort of resentment that you have, not for the team, not for Liverpool, but to the country that you're staying in, because they wouldn't, during this whole pandemic, they wouldn't allow you to do what you should have been allowed to do. So I can only assume if the opportunity had arises for him to go back to Germany, and it can only be for a top job. Like he wouldn't go leave Liverpool to go and manage a team in the Bundesliga. That's a step down. I mean, unless it's Bayern Munich, but he, as you can see, Hansi Flick is doing a great job at Bayern, and he's probably going to be there for the next 2-3 years anyway. But there's no other team in the Bundesliga that Jurgen Klopp would leave Liverpool for. So what other team would he leave Liverpool for? The German national team. I mean, it's plain and obvious. I personally think he will take it in the summer. I think, regardless of what happens between now and the end of the season, I think so much is going to happen that he is going to take that job. He's going to, I think, depending on where he ends up leaving Liverpool in the end of the season, whether we're 8th, 7th, in the top 4 somehow, miraculously, I don't know, Klopp will, I feel like, leave Liverpool this summer because not that he get the fuck out of the kitchen, he gets the fuck out of the kitchen when it gets too hot. Obviously, the situations were different at Dortmund because Dortmund were losing all the best players to Bayern, so you could only do so much until you just had enough and you just had to say, fuck it, I'm gone. So I get that. But again, he didn't stay to rebuild Dortmund. Dortmund had to rebuild themselves, and it took a while. They're still getting there, slowly getting there. But they haven't competed for any major honours since he's left. Klopp isn't someone that creates a dynasty, and when that collapses, rebuilds again from scratch. He hasn't got history of doing that. So I don't see him staying beyond this season and rebuilding this Liverpool team. I just don't, because there's so much for him to do, and it's not all gonna. And it's annoying because it's not all gonna happen in one transfer window. Like we don't have the money to make a huge clear out of selling 10 players and buying 10 new players. So yeah, Klopp, we love you. We want you to stay, but if you do go, you leave with the love of every Liverpool supporter, regardless of what some of these idiots are calling up Talksport or whatever, saying Klopp out. No, they're not. They're not the real fans. The real fans want you to stay. The real fans are gonna love you regardless. If you choose to leave, if you choose to stay, we're gonna love you regardless. And we thank you for what you've done for us and for bringing us back to the summit of English football. It's just a shame that it had to end like this, but we'll see. Who knows? But yeah, let me know what you think in the comment section. Um, who knows? Let's see what happens. Still a long way to go between now and the summer. Peace. What's going on, people? Samson here, British Yoba TV. Don't forget, if you like the video, don't forget to hit the subscribe button above me. And if you want to see any other of my football related content, don't forget to hit the playlist button, which is next to me. And I'll see you again next time. Peace.